Hi, this is Matt Clark, and in this video we're going to talk about a few more specifics regarding creating a Kindle cover. This video is going to go a little more into how you actually create one and sizing and that sort of thing. So basically, right here I'm at the sort of Kindle help document on creating covers, more or less. And right here, first thing I just want to show you, two file types. It either needs to be a JPEG or a TIFF. Generally it's just going to be a JPEG file that you create, so it's not going to accept any other kind of file types. It's especially not going to accept any sort of layered files like from Photoshop and that kind of thing. And the dimensions, it says image dimensions of at least 500 by 800 pixels, maximum of 2000. They say ideal height width ratio is 1.6. With all that said, if you want to follow their 1.6, you can do 1000 by 1600 if you want, or you can go smaller. Just the bigger image that you have, it takes a little longer to upload and that kind of thing. One size that, I started using just because a person I found on Fiverr, which I'll show you here in a second, was using, and it seems to look just fine, is 642 by 945. It's not really anything magic to it. It's just that you'll see a few different sizes on the website. You can see that this one is definitely wider. It doesn't have quite that ratio that they were talking about. This ones are more narrow, like a traditional book. This one's a little bit in between, a little more in between. So it's just going to vary up how these look just a little bit. But this may be too wide. It just sort of depends on your book. But I mean, they say ideal is 1000 by 1600, or 1.6, 1 to 1.6, height to width, basically. So you can play around with those. But as long as it's sort of the rectangular shape, looks like a book, is bigger than 500 pixels by 800 pixels, you should basically be good to go on sizing. And so we've covered file type, and we already know how to upload your cover. You can basically just upload it through your KDP whenever you're creating your book, or you can always go back and change it and re-upload a different cover. Now, one thing they say is if you have a completely white cover, it's good to have a slight 3 to 4 pixel border. Basically just sort of draws your book out and your white part doesn't blend into the background. So, once again, what I want to show you is you basically have two options here. You can either create the cover yourself, or you can outsource it. Now, if you just want to create a cover that's real basic like this, and real, sort of just has huge letters and a solid color background, you can do that yourself fairly easily. If you know Photoshop, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. Here's a free graphics editing software. It's called GIMP. Just search on Google for GIMP. And you can download it. It's open source, so it's completely free. It's fairly easy to use, and you can basically create a cover like this in about 2 minutes. And so you can download that, and you can do that way. And if you want to include any sort of images, like if you want an image like this, or if you want any sort of images like this, clip art, or this sort of thing, basically I recommend don't just grab free images from Google's image search. Because you are putting material out there that's going to have your name on it and tie back to you and all that sort of stuff. So it's good if you just go out there and basically buy the rights to the image. You can do it on a site like iStockPhoto.com, and it'll cost you a few bucks for an image. You don't need a real big one. They usually come in different sizes, and generally the smallest one's going to be fine for the Kindle cover. So basically just go to a site like iStockPhoto.com and you can get images. So that's the do-it-yourself method as far as creating a cover for a Kindle book. Now, here's the easy way. If you want to just take $5 and not have to worry about downloading GIMP, you don't want to have to worry about finding images or any of that kind of stuff, go over to Fiverr.com. It's Fiverr.com, and basically just put a search in here that says Kindle cover. And this is what I've done for quite a few recent books, and you can see here that this is what pops up. I search for Kindle cover, and it's automatically sorted by auto, so it shows a bunch of different results. I like to sort by rating, so it shows people that have gotten high ratings. They deliver what they say they're going to deliver. It looks good, and they deliver it on time. So you can basically just pick one of these people, pay them $5, tell them what you want on your cover, and you'll get a cover in about a day, depending on who you're using on here, a day, a few days, and you'll get a cover. One thing to note is I will do a brilliant flat design in Kindle, even though they have this 3D book stuff here. You don't want to do any sort of these 3D designs. They don't look very good on Amazon. They don't look very professional, and doesn't make it look like you're selling a real book. Even though it is going to be digital, having just a basic flat cover design like you see like you see over here, just basically these flat covers. They look a lot better, and it's more of what people are expecting. So you can just go to Fiverr.com and basically pay someone $5 and they'll create you a decent looking Kindle cover. Now if you want to get a little fancier, you can go to a site like elance.com or odesk.com, and you can pay somebody, up to $200-300 to basically create you a cover for Kindle. Now I think that's a little excessive, especially when you're selling like 99-cent books. I recommend not doing that unless you're planning on selling a real book that's going to be around for a long time, and you might even consider turning into a hardback book and that kind of thing. But if you're just doing some marketing strategies and that kind of thing with Kindle, don't spend that kind of money. Just spend $5 over here, or you can do it yourself for free on a software like GIMP. So that's just a little bit about basically creating a cover real quick, real easy, and you should be able to create one of these fairly easily, whether you buy it or do it yourself, and be up and running on Kindle.